Hey everybody, Logan here. Look what we have today. Mine finally arrived. This is the Nintendo GameCube controller for Nintendo Switch Online. Well, Switch 2, GameCube, well, you know. But I am really excited to finally get my hands on it. It took a while for it to come back in stock, and when it came back in stock, I was like, oh no, am I going to get one? I ordered it, and it took about a week or so. A little more than a week. I think the shipping said like 3 to 9 days, and it took like the entire 9 days for me to get it. But I am so happy to get this, and I've actually not watched anybody or looked at anybody else's reviews to see what it's compatible with, what not, but yeah, if we look at the back, it kind of just tells me everything. Let's take a look. Nintendo GameCube controller only compatible with Nintendo Switch 2 system. The Nintendo GameCube controller features the C button, which can open game chat, and the capture button. Now, they've added those extra buttons on. From my understanding, the reason why these aren't backwards compatible or compatible with Switch 1 would be because of the Bluetooth it uses. This uses the same Bluetooth tech that is in the Switch Pro controller. Well, Switch 2 Pro controller, sorry about that. So that's why it is only compatible. That's another reason why the Switch 1 controllers aren't fully compatible with Switch 2, because they don't have that Bluetooth technology that will enable the controller to wake the console. So, yes. But it's a pretty simple red box, just like the other ones. I've covered the Nintendo 64 and Super Nintendo ones. I never got the original NES because I didn't like the fact that they were on the rails like the Joy-Con. I really didn't like that. I was hoping it'd be Bluetooth and just like these, but it wasn't. So that's why I didn't get it. So let's stop jibber jabbering. Open up this one. Random blue. GameCube controllers, by far one of the best. Now, this has always bothered me. It's not connected to the box. I don't know why. Some people don't care, but for some reason that just bothers me. But the GameCube controller, like I was saying, has been one of my favorites, along with a lot of people, in terms of their favorite controller of all time. That's a lot of layers for a box. Oh, okay. Charge cables back there. That's a chunky boy box. It's got some nice weight to it. It feels just like the original with a tiny D-pad. Do you remember the first time you got your hands on a GameCube controller, or go back even further, the first time you got your GameCube? I was actually working at GameStop at the time, and I was like, man, I really wanted a GameCube. Couldn't afford it at the launch. I ended up getting it about a month or so in. Had to save up. I was still in high school at the time. It came out, what, 2001? And GameStop was a part-time job of mine, so, man. And mine was black. My first one was black, but now looking back at it, the indigo is such a beautiful color. Such a great controller. And that's funny. The second, you got the ZR here, which is technically just Z. And then they put ZL, which is just a little beep, 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 beep. So you could technically use this for anything. That's a weird press, but technically it's usable. Now, what's weird is when they initially announced this controller, they said it's only compatible with the GameCube games. And a lot of people were discussing it. I was discussing it. I was like, why would they do that when technically the other Switch Online games, it doesn't matter if you bought the controllers to play those, you could still use those controllers in other games. And then later on we found out it works just like any other one. So you got your capture, your home, your C, your pair, your type C. Oh, I'm really liking this controller. And I like the fact that it's fully wireless. Hey, Switch Pro controller. Hey, go over here. All right, so we have to test it. Let me grab my Switch 2 connected, and, well, let's test it with a couple games. Well, it didn't even give me enough time to turn on the camera before it synced. I just hit the button to power up the controller, and the Switch was like, yeah, we got it. And it recognizes it as a GameCube controller. How awesome is that? Here we go, booting up the GameCube games. Yay, Mario Strikers. That's right, I forgot about that. I didn't care about Mario Strikers then, and I don't care about Mario Strikers now. I don't... Mario Smash Football. That's soccer. Whatever. So let us go with Soul Calibur because I was already playing it. Oh, it recognizes it. So as you guys can see, I'm testing it out in practice mode. Oh, the Link theme. I so forgot about that. Okay, so that works as that. Okay. I'm trying to remember how to do certain moves. It's just been a very long time. There we go. Does it hold this? Oh, yeah. There we go. Okay, let's try something else. This is bringing back all kinds of crazy memories. So let's hit the home button. Whoops, sorry. No, that's right. It's the ZL button. And then go to game selection. F-Zero GX. The memories. I remember when I got my GameCube. I remember when I got this game. And I remember when I got Soul Calibur 2. Oh, Soul Calibur 2 was fantastic. And I got the GameCube version. I was that guy that... I was the Nintendo guy at my GameStop. Everybody else was PlayStation. We had, like, even a couple Xbox guys. Actually, the majority of the staff were Xbox guys. My boss and one of the guys who became one of my best friends, he was an Xbox guy at the time. And then he ended up switching back to PlayStation. But, yeah, I was always Nintendo, GameCube, GameCube. So, let's just try practice. Captain Falcon. Yeah, we're just gonna test it out. I don't need to adjust any of the settings right now. Okay, that's right. I remember now. Just as good as I remember. Wow, this looks really good on here. All right, so one thing I want to test. That feels great. Man, I miss these days when games were, well, felt like video games. But what do we have to do? We have to test it with a modern game. So what better one to test it with? Mario Kart World. Wow. Whee! Like, this is the perfect controller. It works with everything. It's a GameCube controller first and foremost. It works with all those GameCube games. It works with Switch 2 games. Why would you want to not use this and use this instead? Okay, I know. We've got things here in this controller that this controller doesn't offer, especially the full button layout and everything. No awkward pressing of the little ZL button. Your camera and your, what is it, your capture button and your home buttons are weirdly located on the top. The D-pad is a full-size D-pad. You know, you don't have a nub and stick. Here you have a full stick. Some people will make your arguments, but nostalgia in me just goes, this is the better of the two controllers. But that's just me. The fact that there's now 2 Pro controllers that can be used to wake up the console, I think is fantastic. So let's give that a little try before we end the video, because we know this can do it. Boom. 2 Pro controllers, and that's fantastic. So honestly, it's hard for me not to recommend the GameCube one because it is cheaper. No, it doesn't have HD Rumble like that one does, but still, this is significantly cheaper, and it's GameCube, and yeah, you get the little meat right there, but I would have a hard time not recommending this. But again, that's my nostalgia bone. So tell me if you guys picked it up. I think this is still probably the best Pro controller for your money, because one, it's $20 less, and well, it's the GameCube controller. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, share this video. Tell me what you think about the GameCube Nintendo Switch Online wireless Pro controller. There you go. Thank you guys. Again, hit that subscribe button. Like we always say, God bless each and every one of you. And be legendary. Thanks again.